Censorship encompasses much more than people getting their posts and accounts deleted from social media platforms. It involves the mainstream media self-censoring certain stories and issues as well. They lie by omission and purposely ignore events and individuals they don't want to give publicity to, even when what's happening fully warrants extensive coverage. When a reporter for Reuters learned that Beto O'Rourke was a member of the infamous Cult of the Dead Cow hacking group when he was younger, he promised Beto that he wouldn't reveal that information until after the 2018 midterm, when Beto was running against Ted Cruz for his Senate seat. During the campaign, Beto was already being haunted by his past for leaving the scene of an accident that he caused while drunk driving, and if word got out that he was also committing computer crimes as well, it certainly wouldn't have looked very good. PBS edited out part of Finding Your Roots, a documentary series that traces celebrities' ancestry, after Ben Affleck discovered that his ancestors owned slaves and pressured the network to cut that part out of the episode, which they did so it wouldn't hurt his image. We only know about the censorship because of hacked emails from Sony, which were posted on WikiLeaks, including one between the Finding Your Roots host, Henry Louis Gates Jr., and the CEO of Sony Entertainment, discussing Affleck's request. In our digital world, news outlets can alter an article or a headline after something has been published without most people even noticing, covering up falsehoods and mistakes, or even changing the overall message of the story. This often results in inflammatory articles going viral and whipping people into a frenzy, only to later have key points changed in response to the backlash after being debunked. Sometimes outlets have other reasons for dumping things down the memory hole. The facts about illegal immigration are rarely allowed into the news cycle because the American people would learn just how big of a crisis it is and the damage that illegal aliens are doing to our country. In 2015, over 50% of illegal immigrant households received some form of government welfare, including food stamps, housing assistance, school lunch programs, or Medicaid. And a 2018 report by the Center for Immigration Studies found that 63% of non-citizens use at least one form of welfare. While the liberal media loves to report that they're just coming here to work, the fact is that millions of them are sucking off of our tax dollars. Over the last decade, there have been well over 1,000 murders committed by illegal aliens in the United States. Lives stolen and families shattered by people who should never have been in our country in the first place. Every day there are headlines in local papers about violent illegal aliens, undocumented workers as the liberals call them, being arrested, and the stories may get a 15-second soundbite on the local news, but that's it. The number of drunk driving arrests, thefts, burglaries, rapes, and other crimes they commit on a daily basis is staggering. One study shows that illegal aliens commit crimes at double the rate of native-born citizens. In 2018, when President Trump met with angel families at the White House, people whose family members have been killed by illegal aliens, both MSNBC and CNN abruptly cut their live feed and began talking about how the Trump administration isn't treating illegal immigrant families who snuck into our country good enough. Ironically, during the meeting, a woman who lost her son to an illegal alien drunk driver began telling the president that the mainstream media doesn't let people know what's really happening. Democrats say the flood of illegals entering our country isn't a national emergency, as President Trump declared. Meanwhile, in recent months, there are a record number of people crossing from Mexico into the U.S. illegally. It's thousands a day. Every day, hundreds of thousands every month, the highest numbers in 20 years, perhaps the highest numbers ever. Democrats all used to support expanding the border wall and were tough on illegal immigration until Donald Trump became the president. You've probably seen the video compilations of Chuck Schumer, Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, and other top Democrats all previously supporting the wall and saying that we need to stop the influx of illegals crossing the border. But that's all changed. Democrats don't support the blue-collar working class anymore. President Trump had won most of them over to his side, so the Democrats shifted strategies, hoping to build a new base of future voters consisting of Americans who are too lazy to work and want free handouts from a socialist government, and the 20 plus million illegal aliens who are here that they're hoping to grant citizenship to. In George Orwell's classic novel 1984, he coined a variety of phrases which describe different aspects of life under the totalitarian Big Brother regime. One such term, a memory hole, refers to quietly deleting or altering news stories in order to make it seem as if they were never changed or had never even existed in the first place. One scene in 1984 depicts the lead character Winston Smith editing newspapers that had already been published, which was part of his job at the Ministry of Truth, to change what they said, and then new ones were printed to replace the originals, which were all confiscated and destroyed, leaving no evidence of what they actually said. Unfortunately, memory holes aren't just something from Orwell's imagination. They actually exist in our modern media age, where it's much easier to delete something or change it once it's been posted online, since actual newspapers are being replaced by digital versions on tablets and smartphones. Unless retrieved by Google Cache or someone taking a screenshot, then an original version of something posted on a news website and later altered is almost impossible to discover. We see these alterations all the time on articles from mainstream outlets when part of a story is changed or deleted, and oftentimes the entire headline is rewritten when their fake news is widely debunked, and they try to cover their tracks and pretend like nothing is wrong. An extremely eerie memory hole situation occurred back in 2010 when an episode of Jesse Ventura's conspiracy theory television show was remotely deleted from people's DVRs after they had recorded it. The show ran for 3 seasons on True TV and followed Jesse Ventura around the country investigating various conspiracy theories, and one of those episodes was about FEMA camps, the secretive detention centers you're not supposed to talk about. After the episode aired, it was scheduled to be replayed the following week as a lead-in for the new episode, but it didn't air. All the information about the episode was deleted from True TV's website, and even more strange, the people who had recorded it on their DVRs found the episode had been deleted from there as well. The show's producers later revealed that the government had put pressure on the network to pull the episode from airing again, and also had the cable companies remotely delete copies from people's DVRs at home, since they're linked directly to the cable providers. And so, just like the cable companies remotely change the clocks on customers' boxes every fall and spring to adjust for daylight savings time, they also deleted an episode of Jesse Ventura's conspiracy theory. It couldn't get any more ironic. A government conspiracy behind censoring a TV show about conspiracies. But in all seriousness, this instance illustrates the vulnerabilities of using streaming technology over the old-fashioned VHS and DVD recorders, because once something was recorded on those systems, the only way for a media company or anybody to get rid of it would be to physically come to your house and take it. But now they can just make things disappear down the memory hole from miles away with the push of a button. The same thing could easily happen to ebooks on your iPad or your Kindle. And in fact, it already has. So order my books, like The True Story of Fake News, in paperback from Amazon.com so they won't just disappear someday. And of course, there's a link to those listings down in the description below. So click it and head on over there and check them out.